I'm Jennifer Novak. Today, I wanted to address a question that one of you had because it's important for real estate transactions. In a prior video, I talked about what's called a phase one. That's a report that assesses the environmental conditions at a property to help identify possible or existing environmental contamination and liabilities. A phase one itself usually doesn't take that extra step of taking samples or performing laboratory tests. It's the first step to see if more intrusive testing or investigation is warranted. The other day, I posted a video about the limits of relying upon a phase one report. Okay, don't get me wrong, these are incredibly important, and I highly encourage them if you're buying property near an industrial or commercial area. They are a critical part of your due diligence. But as I mentioned in that video, if it turns out that your property has an environmental problem, having a phase one does not automatically give you a get out of jail free card. Now that led to the question I got, which was, but Jennifer, I thought if I got a phase one, it means I'm not legally responsible. And this is so important that I thought I would use this video to clarify a few things. All right, so first, if you get a phase one and it says you're buying land that might be contaminated, then guess what? You bought it, you own it, and all of the problems on it. Now you could reach an agreement with the seller about who's going to take on that liability. But if push comes to shove, the government can issue an order to both of you, and you'll have to sort it out amongst yourselves. The second, let's assume that you got a phase one that looks great. It's still only one part of a comprehensive environmental due diligence. There are other factors that also go into proving that you fit within one of the very few legal defenses that could apply. And third, as I mentioned in my prior video, not all phase ones are equal. I have seen some that glossed over environmental red flags. And even the best phase one is only as good as the information that went into it. A lot of phase ones are done under time pressure, and there's not always enough time to go looking for relevant witnesses to interview or for agencies to produce public records. And finally, even if you had a phase one and you had no reason to know there might be an environmental problem at your property, you may still be asked to take certain measures to limit any harm from your property. The phase one can't help you avoid all possible costs. So to wrap this up, a phase one is an important and powerful tool, but it's not bulletproof. The best advice I can give here is to make sure that number one, you do your due diligence. Two, get a good consultant on your team. And three, don't be afraid to ask an environmental lawyer to help you assess the legal risks involved. If you have a question about this video or previous videos, please leave it in the chat.